Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to VT Sports. I'm Danny Kanell alongside Chris Manno. Fun show for you guys today. Super Bowl recap, a lot of storylines to get to. Most of y'all probably heard about the game. We'll talk a little bit about it, but some of the stories coming out after, pretty phenomenal. Clint Kubiak, their offensive coordinator, taking the Raiders job. I have a personal tie to him. We'll talk about that. He's pretty bold in his faith. Pretty cool to see as a bunch of players. We'll talk about some of the players wearing their faith on their sleeve in the Super Bowl. It was pretty awesome to see. A ton of stuff to get to, maybe a little bit of Olympics talk, some parenting discussion, what the importance of parenting for young athletes is, and the belief you have in your parents. Sam Darnold talked a little bit about that. Can't wait to see that. Also, we got Jared McCain singing goodbyes to Philadelphia 76ers fans. What is he thinking? And more importantly, what are some old veterans, some retired NBA guys think of his TikTok, is singing, all of it. Very interesting discussion there. A lot to get to. Plus, we got some cards, some more unboxing later. See if we hit any jackpots, although you did not have much faith in my box that I bought there. You said, it's retail. Like I'm a chump, basically, for buying this. I thought I found a steal on barnesandnoble.com. And turns out you're like,
those tend to be the ones you find the heaters in, though.
Okay, that's perfect.
You.
Well, maybe we'll find some heaters.
Perhaps.
Yeah, maybe we'll find some heaters. So a lot to get to.
Yeah.
How we doing? We doing all right?
Good, man. Things are good. We ran a nice little Super Bowl show at the Boardroom on Sunday. It was a lot of fun. Pumped about how the show is going to go from here because there is a lot of cool, different stuff for us to hit on. So
yeah, definitely.
Talk about the game should be fun.
What's your before we get to the Super Bowl Olympics? What's your temperature on the Olympics?
So I'm big with the Olympics, both winter and summer. I have like events that I look forward to. I don't look forward to the whole thing because it's a big thing. There's events that I will never touch, but hoops I love. I'm excited to see the hoops. Hockey in this one. Hockey should be fun, especially after like that Frozen 4 or whatever that last tournament was outrageous. So I'm pumped to see them put on the national team jerseys again. I think more than any other sport, those guys, I mean, they play hard for their country. World Baseball Classic too, I'd say.
Yeah.
But those hockey players, man, they play hard for their country. You put that sweater on and those guys go for it.
I love it. Opening ceremonies did not get into. Summer, I think it's more of a story. The winter opening Olympics, I wasn't there. Some college basketball I was watching, like Super Bowl preview stuff. I did not catch one of that. The one story that I did see, did you see the guy who cheated on his girlfriend?
How crazy was that? Hey,
the Norwegian, it's the biggest moment of his life. He gets bronze, so he gets a medal, and he says, it was the worst moment of my life. He starts bawling on television, saying he met the girl of his dreams 6 months ago, and then 3 months ago, he cheated on her, hasn't spoken to her since. And that's what he goes with. Like in that moment, he's like, I got to get her back. I mean, I guess shoot your shot. You're trying to do anything. You talk about groveling, begging for somebody back.
I think I need to know who this chick is. Like,
I know. She must be a 15 out of 10.
Yeah, she must be phenomenal.
But then why'd he cheat on her?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't try to get in his mind, but that's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, there it is. That's a great.
Yeah, there's our guy. He's
Imagine
there.
that though. The biggest moment an athlete can have ever. And I'll tell you what, if you can't get past that though, like there's your sign.
Yeah.
If you don't win her back after that, my man,
doesn't she have him
fold?
But if he does doesn't she have him by the nuts forever? Like if he's willing to go to that far to beg for her back, I mean, she's just gonna hang that over him forever. Like, oh, you cheated on me. Like, oh yeah, I came back. And also the thing was interesting, the guy that won gold medal was actually a little bit upset that he didn't get more attention because everybody's talking about this dude begging for his girlfriend back.
Did you think that, like, I also was like, dude, 12 weeks? You dated the chick for 12 weeks? And that kind of sprung?
Yeah.
Maybe he's just a weirdo.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most likely case.
12
is that
weeks,
the
man?
dude is a weirdo.
Yeah.
Curling, I did watch some curling. I have never even seen a curling court. I don't even know what you call it. Rink. I don't know what you call the playing surface.
Same.
It is
Ice?
one that I do. Like, how hard could it be? Like, how many people?
You think you could be in the next games?
Kinda.
Did you see? This is the first time I saw a mixed curling. Like I think I've seen like a husband and a wife.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but
I think just playing with wifey would be fun.
Well, my wife and I already agreed we would fight and it would end ugly because we can't even play pickleball together. And I'm super competitive, and she is too. But I could see like if she throws a bad one, or if I'm sweeping and I'm not. I mean, I get in trouble for not sweeping correctly at home. Like if I'm not sweeping on the ice to get the right amount of friction on there so it slides a little bit extra, I'd be screwed. So we definitely, like, I don't know if our marriage would survive. We have a really healthy marriage, 20 years. I don't know if it could take the intensity and the competition of the curling competition.
I love the Twitter videos of the people at home with the Roombas and the brooms in their kitchens.
Yes.
And they're like emulating this.
Yeah.
I love how pumped up they can get over like that. Like, You see some of these guys. That's a big time shot, though.
Big time.
He knocked both yellows out there.
Yes. But like, how many people do you think you'd have to be better than in the U.S. in curling? There can't be, like, is it 1,000? Like, if you're trying to make it in track, you got to be thousands, like tens of hundreds of thousands of the best track athletes. How many people actually even curl?
Well, I guess it's like there's two sides to it, right? Because yes, there's not a ton of resources to curl,
right?
But it's not one of those sports where like you can eliminate like I can never play center for the Knicks. Like anybody can curl, so it could like theoretically you're really against like 300 million people because there's nobody you could be
you're
like.
Not.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I just feel like the average Joe can just jump out there and start learning to curl and be great at it. Like I don't have to worry about like those guys on a football field.
You know what you seem? I think I could see you doing this.
You think so?
No, not this.
Oh no.
I think I could see you bobsled.
Yeah?
Like, yeah. You got the body type for it. You're strong. You got explosive,
Sprinting.
lower strength. Yeah. You got a quick get off.
That's what a lot of these guys go and do.
Yeah.
A lot of them go like a lot of great athletes go into that because I think it can be picked up quick.
Yes.
And that's what it is. I think that's the whole game. Get out low, be able to drive hard.
Yep. I think I could see you doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see. Maybe we get a team going. I'll drive. I'll just hop in and drive.
Do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'm going to tell you. Hopefully, we get into I'll tell you. There's not too many things I wouldn't do to put the colors across my chest. Man.
Yeah,
like that. That's
cool.
huge.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we'll get on that later. I think.
Yeah, a little bit of Olympics talk to start us off. The men's team did actually do that, which was not great. The one dude was driving down by himself because they wiped out on the way. Wasn't a great start for the men.
Can you recover from that in this sport, or it's a wrap? Like once that happens, it's over.
I don't know.
Wow, that looked real big, guys.
Oh yeah, they're flying all over.
You know what
the
that
place.
reminded me of? And I should not admit this. So we in Long Island have a water park called Splish Splash, and when we were little kids, we would wait for the family ride to go down with like 3 of our friends at the top, and we would jump from the outside over the slide and into the thing. And when we didn't hit it, we looked a lot like those guys.
Yeah,
bouncing around the slide with nothing to ride down in, and then at the bottom we're like, oh crap, we're about to get thrown out because now they know that we didn't come down in this thing. So
right. Go Team USA. We'll do a little bit more on the Olympics later in the show. But the Super Bowl took the center stage on Sunday. Ginormous crowds, viewers took in over 100 million people watch. It's insane. It's the biggest sporting event out there. Celebrities all over the place. The game might have been the worst game I've ever seen. It was awful. You liked it?
No, but I mean,
it was horrendous.
You said it might have been the worst game you've ever seen, and then I thought back about the weather game that we broadcast the week before, and then that game I thought about the Steelers-Texans game we broadcast the week before. So we're pretty much 0 for 3 with 3 miserable games.
Yeah.
So
I would like to say I don't know if it was great defense. I mean, Seahawks have an awesome defense,
right? But
it was. Neither quarterback played great. Neither offense
100%.
played great. The defenses were on display. I have a hunch, and now this might be me protecting myself because I like him so much.
Mm-hmm. I know what you're going to say.
Drake May's shoulder was a bigger deal than we know about. And you wrote it already. Was he hurt? How bad was he? Because he was banged up. He had talked about it, was questionable in practice. And the thing I love about Drake May, you did not hear one peep out of him about his shoulder.
Right.
At media day, he said, I'm fine. After the game, didn't say anything. Mm-hmm. And that, to me, is a sign of a champion. Because I think it was bothering. I think it impacted him. He missed throws. Now, if you were a Drake May hater, which I'm sure there's somebody out there who's like, he's overrated, whatever it is, I think you could say, well, he looked overwhelmed. Because it was the moment too big. I don't personally think that was it. He did miss some open throws that were there that could have, really been huge in that game with not meant offensive fireworks. I think it was more about his health than it was the moment.
So I definitely think there's something to the health thing because I don't know if I recall, other than the touchdown pass, him driving a ball more than like 12 yards down the field the entirety of the game.
Check down city, right?
That's all it was.
The flares.
But then I think back to, he has statistically the worst playoffs a quarterback's ever had. Yeah. And I don't think, when did they say the injury, if the injury happened? When was that?
I don't know exactly when it happened.
He fumbled the ball 6 times and turned over the ball 8 times in the playoffs, which is just unacceptable. You can never win a Super Bowl like that. That's why I think maybe the lights. He also got the crap sacked out of him, 21 sacks, and that goes back to what I think the game in a nutshell was. It was exactly what we thought it was going to be, right? I think we said if the offensive line for New England had the game of their lives and kept that front 7 from Seattle out of the backfield, they have a shot. If they don't, it's going to be chaos. And Will Campbell played horrible, and the defensive front for Seattle came relentless. And that's exactly what I think we thought was going to happen. I don't think I was really surprised by any of it, right? Kenneth Walker, outrageous game. outrageous game, right?
Yeah.
135 rushing, 26 receiving for 161 total.
Yep.
Most rushing yards by any running back since Terrell Davis.
Yeah.
That was sick. He was awesome.
He was awesome, thankfully, because for a while it looked like a kicker was going to win MVP, and that was horrendous.
Yeah.
The other stat on there that was pretty glaring is you saw Kenneth Walker, the leading rusher, Drake May, leading rusher for the Patriots.
Crazy.
They couldn't get anything going. That offensive line struggled mightily.
I do want to ask you something about Kenneth Walker, and this is something that I think I noticed before the game that I mentioned. I'd love to know what your feel for it is, because you were around skill players and running backs your whole career. Kenneth Walker was splitting carries with Zach Charbonnet most of the year. He goes down with an ACL in the first playoff game, and then Kenneth Walker proceeds to go off for 116, 3 touchdowns, 111 and a touchdown, and 161 yesterday. Do you think, as great as sharing carries is in keeping guys healthy and keeping you fresh for the end, you think there's something to like getting into a rhythm and carrying the ball 25 times? Because he got so much better. He was a good back for the year. But when he was splitting carries, it's like you almost find, you look at a guy like Saquon, and Saquon will go 3 yards, 2 yards, 1 yard, 5 yards,
Bam.
3 yards, 76 yards. You know what I mean?
Yep.
What do you talk to me about, like being able to find that rhythm as a player like that if you're coming off the field, on the field, on the field, off the field?
I know for quarterback's unique, right? I hate when you play 2 quarterbacks. I don't even like taking them off for Wildcat. I don't like that. I do think there's something there to running backs too, though. I think it's any position. Like you are in the rhythm and flow of the game. You've seen enough looks where you start recognizing defensive fronts. You start recognizing, you know, even little tendencies of a linebacker overplaying it a little bit. So the cutback opens, the more reps you're out there.
Right.
And the better running backs that you've seen historically, what do? They get better as the game goes on.
Absolutely.
It's like a heavyweight fighter. Like they get a lot of body blows and then they go for the knockout blow.
Yeah.
So I think there's a time and a place for it, the regular season. But I think when you get to a big game like that, you've got to have a featured back that you can rely on.
And what I found myself saying over and over and over again was what you say over and over and over again. It is clearly a different football game from preseason to regular season. That was a completely different game. And some of those Patriots came in at the speed that they were playing preseason and regular season at, right? We saw 14 pressures alone off the left side, and that left tackle, man, that's just... You're never going to win a game like that.
No.
Right?
Will Campbell, the left tackle for the Patriots, was the same draft class as Drake May. They came in together, both first round picks. Have you seen the stuff on his arm length?
They say they're short.
And he's had short arms. And there's a stat out there. I don't have it handy, but there's a stat on, left tackle's arm length. Okay. And to be able to buck the trend, and like, I don't know what the exact number is, 33 and a half, whatever it is. But if you have shorter arms, the chances of you being like a 10-year player and a Pro Bowler.
Is there a crazy correlation?
Are like 0.
Really?
Like you just don't see it. I think if he's a guard, he's Pro Bowl material. And that's a difference in the position. I think he's an outstanding offensive lineman. I just don't think he's built body type wise for the left tackle position.
Yeah, it could be. I guess I heard Jason Kelsey talk about something awesome. He's always a little undersized, but he talked about always you have to have one thing better than the guy in front of you in order to beat him. He said he had trouble with certain guys. Like he had trouble, like if a guy was bigger than him, he had the advantage of low man wins. And if a guy was smaller than him, then he had longer arms. But you always have to find one of those advantages somewhere. Again, I'm not a super schooled on this thing, but there's got to be something to it. Yeah. The ability to keep a guy off you and kind of just ride him past your quarterback. But we have seen at the same time a couple of guards move out to tackle over the last couple of years. I think Joe Tooney a lot.
Yep.
He moved out there and did a nice job, but yeah, it's got to be something to it, right?
Yeah, and he did not. He struggled. He was getting ragdolled a bunch in that one.
Right.
But Kenneth Walker, your MVP. Sam Darnold, there's not a lot of star power in that Super Bowl. Like Drake May and Sam Darnold, Kenneth Walker, maybe an emerging star for people that aren't really aware of his game.
JSN was banged up for much of the game.
Yep.
Right?
And Jackson Smith-Njigba, I love him because he's not your typical diva wide receiver. Doesn't have a dance. Sure. He's a pro. He just goes about his business. So really there aren't a lot of stars, like in a good way. I think it's like they're just great teams, which I think is great about the sport. But I think Sam Darnold could emerge as a star from this run that he had. Because the game was quiet for him. They were clearly, when they were controlling things, they did not want to take a lot of risks down the field. And, he comes out there and he gets Super Bowl win under his belt. But he had maybe one of the best games of his career in the NFC Championship game, which was awesome.
Well, I also think there was a time, probably it's early too, maybe the second quarter, where I felt like there's no need to take any chances, right? This offense on the other side has nothing. So as long as we get out to a lead, they got out to a 2-score lead. And I was like, at no point did I believe that New England was going to come back from 2 scores. So why drive the ball down the field if I'm Darnold? And if I want to talk about one star, can we talk about one guy, just show him some love? They did drive the ball down the field about 2 or 3 times. Christian Gonzalez is a savage.
Yeah.
Christian Gonzalez was running routes for the receivers out there. I mean, Jackson Smith and Jig was a monster.
Yeah.
He was in his pocket every single time they tried to get the ball down the field. So shout Christian Gonzalez, who was a bright spot on a real tough
he had the one pick in his hand. What if he could have come down with it? You wonder if that's like a momentum swing where it was right there.
Maybe.
Who knows? I mean, they still wouldn't have got the ball in great field position, and they couldn't move it much all night.
They sure couldn't.
But he is an absolute beast out there as a defensive back. Sam Darnold has been through it, right? He's had quite the journey to get to this position.
Yeah.
Battled adversity. One of my favorite pieces that I heard from Sam Darnold was talking about what his parents meant to him. Here is the Seattle quarterback.
Idol, a man, a woman you looked up to in your life as a kid?
Yeah, I would say easy answer, my parents. Just my dad and my mom. Just about my dad, like him working the job that he had. He had to get up super early. He had to get up at like 2 or 3 in the morning every morning, go to work, and then he got to come home around 1 or 2 p.m. every day, and he would sit on the couch for a minute, maybe take a nap, shut his eyes for a little bit, a little power nap, but and then right when I got home from school, he was so eager to just play catch with me in the front yard or the backyard, or if I had practice, he was always there. So he always kind of just found that energy, no matter what his day looked like, to spend time with me, my sister. My sister also playing club volleyball. She was probably at volleyball practice until 9 p.m. And he was always there just watching her practice and taking her back home at around 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. Like, he's just such an idol for me that way, just with his work ethic.
Pretty cool stuff. I mean, to talk about the sacrifice that his parents made, his dad specifically, getting up at 2:30 in the morning, working, coming home, getting a quick nap, then taking Sam to train, his sister to train. It's unbelievable. And then here's one more quote from Sam Darnold, a little bit of sound on him sharing this moment with his dad was really, really special.
I love you. I love you. I love it. We won every game. I love you. I'm so proud. I'm so proud.
We're proud of you, John. Hit it.
I'm here because of you guys. Believe in me. I love
Believe in yourself.
All right. had some ups and downs, but winning is fun. Winning's fun.
He said, I'm here because of you guys. You guys believed in me. That is such a powerful statement that any parent should learn from. Now, just because you believe in your kid doesn't mean he's going to play in the Super Bowl one day.
Sure.
But I think of the value of believing in your children in any walk of life.
Right.
If you believe in them as a student, if you believe in them as a piano player, if you believe in them in their abilities, whatever God has given them to excel in, if you support them and you believe in them, it goes so much further than if you question them, if you doubt them, if you're overly critical of them.
Definitely.
Because we see a lot of people take the Tiger Woods motto, like, the Earl Woods, like, I'm going to berate you and I'm going to make you mentally tough because I'm just going to crush you. That is one lesson that I'm looking at as a parent myself. I try to tell my daughters all the time, I believe in you guys. I believe in what you're capable of doing. And you see the power of that belief right there on full display.
Absolutely, 100% love everything about this video, man. Growing up, didn't have a ton monetarily. We weren't like the most well-off family there ever was. But I can tell you, man, I was blessed with just an inordinate amount of love and support from my mom and pop. And there were things, if it was naivety, maybe it was, but it was just support where they would, I'm telling you, man, they put a battery in my back, make me think that I can do certain things, like things that I never should have been able. Like my dad, for whatever reason, never thought for one day that I wouldn't play in the NFL. I was a walk-on at a small school, and he would tell his friends, my son's going to go to the league. And I'm like, now in hindsight, I look back and I'm like, this guy's crazy, same as I was crazy. But like just hearing him say it, it made me feel like I have to hold him, like I have to do it because he believes I can do it. And B, just the thought that he believed in me enough to think that of me always did it for me. Now I'm dealing with it with my 8-week-old, right? My 8-week-old doesn't want anything in the world from me monetarily, but I'll tell you, man, there is something to her knowing when I pick her up and I hold her and I talk to her, just the importance of her daddy being present and being there. It's everything to her. That's all she knows. And that's something like I think we're born with, right? Just that innate ability to just dad and mom be there. Be there when you're supposed to be there. Just pour love into your kid. And it's incredible how much it must correlate to success. We heard Tom Brady a couple of years ago. Yeah. They asked him the same question at the podium, some little kid, and he almost like breaks down and bursts into tears like and talks about his pop like immediately, right? I know you and your father are incredibly close till this day.
My dad was so powerful in the words that he spoke to me as well. Like my dad was very similar to Darnold. Both my parents, they always made a point. One of them were going to be there at every game, like to support me. And they would never, my dad was not a big yeller and screamer, yelling at officials or overly the top. He was just there. Like he's pretty quiet. He's like a gentle giant. Same thing with my mom. She would sit there when I was in the NFL and she would pray, like, just don't get hurt. Like that was what she was thinking. She just didn't want to see her baby get hurt. But one of them would be there to support me. And that was always like the message of them. And now I realize some of the sacrifices that they made just to be there. Like they had to shuffle things around and made a lot of sacrifices just to be there, just like Darnold's dad did. Yeah. And that just the presence of them and the support that they gave me and the words that they spoke to me were so powerful. And you have to be so careful with the words that you speak to your children because they hear, if you say, you're not good enough, they're going to hear that and it's going to resonate with them. For sure. But if you tell them, hey, that was a bad practice, but you'll be fine. You're better than that. You can be better than that. That goes such a long way. It is so powerful.
And you know what I learned like a month ago? I hear you saying the words they gave me and they were. Dude, your dad's like that today. We had a Stephen A. Smith thing where you jumped on with PBD Podcast on the home team, and your first thing was, can we get my pop a ticket? He wants to be there for this. He did the exact, sat in the back, chilled quietly, and when I talked to him about you for 10 minutes, he was glowing, bro. So it's no, and guys, take that as advice. Take that as like an example, right? Danny's dad did it, poured it into Danny, and Danny's pouring it into his little girls right now. You can hear it every time I talk to him about it, and I start bouncing stuff off him. Now that I have a little girl, I ask him, what's the deal with this? And he just glows, man. And it's something that as a parent, as a father, even as a husband, the kids pick up on, and it's things like that you may overlook at home. But they do, man. They permeate the kids, and the kids live it, and that's what they know. That's their example, man.
Nick Imamwari is a stud for Seattle. I'm curious. Julia's found this bit of sound, which looked pretty good. His mom's Nigerian.
Oh, she's a sweetheart.
Doesn't understand all the hype. Let me hear this.
You expecting to go over there to San Francisco to watch this game, to watch your son?
To be honest with you, I don't know. Everybody keep asking me, do you know what you are going for? I said, Super Bowl. They said, do you know how many people died to go to Super Bowl? I'm like, how? I don't know. I have opportunity to go there. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is something big that I don't know. It's big. I don't know what I'm expecting. All I'm going there is to shout, yeah, Super Bowl, touchdown, we win. That's it.
Oh, that's incredible. I love it. Little naivete on the Super Bowl, but I bet once she watched that performance, she sees the Super Bowl parade now. Yeah. I think it's going to hit her what a big deal it is to be a Super Bowl champion.
It's funny, man. I have a game I remember in college where I would turn up. Shoot, my mom was like that. My mom was like that mom, like Nicky Manwari's mom. I would turn around, and in college, man, I was just getting used to people being there, and I would turn around and see my mom looking at me on the sidelines. And after the game, I'd be like, Ma, the defense was on the field. What are you looking at me for? She had no idea what's going on. I'm just here to see you. Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm just here to show you love and support. And it was like that forever. And my mom was kind of like that. But that's so cool, man. I love it.
Did you see, I don't know if you remember during the national championship run for Miami, they went to the finals, lost to Indiana, of course. Mark Fletcher, their running back. Yeah. His mom doesn't like to fly.
Okay.
And so she drove to the Cotton Bowl, was their first round game. Then I think she had to go back to the Fiesta Bowl. Right. She drove like 30,000 miles to go support her son because she was like, I'm not missing the games. And, usually you play in the ACC, you don't have to drive that far. She was driving all across the country just support her kid. It was pretty cool. And it's that type of support, man, that parents love that makes every kid, just swell up with pride when they see the sacrifices and the lengths their parents will go to support them. Pretty cool stuff there.
That's the Kenneth Walker clip. Did you hear the Kenneth Walker clip? I was trying to figure out what parent I heard it from. And by the way, Mark Fletcher, his dad is a kind of a real heartbreaking but like loving story about his time going to Miami because of his pop and stuff. Guys in the back, you guys might be able to pull it up. If you see Kenneth Walker, he said it's the first time his dad was ever at one of his games.
Really?
Because his pop hates large crowds. Oh. But obviously this one was so important that he was like, I had to have my dad here. My dad had to be here, and he came over. But that's when you said that, it made me think of this right away. Like, he talks about how his dad being there was so important to him, and he doesn't like crowds, so he almost never comes. But for this one, it was his first game.
I got my mom, my dad, and my little brother. It means a lot, especially my little brother and my dad. My dad, he comes out to Seattle all the time to watch games, but he never goes to the game because he don't like crowds. So this is his first NFL game, and, we won a Super Bowl, so it means a lot to me, and I know you're proud of me for real. I got my mom.
That's pretty awesome, right? Very, very cool. Love seeing that. Love seeing the parents do whatever it takes to go see their son, even if it's for the first time. Even if it's something where it's on that stage, to be there has got to make Kenneth Walker. Maybe that's what inspired him to get that MVP.
Yeah, and don't be surprised. I really do think that there's something to that strong family foundation and success at a high level, man. You guys can speak to it, right?
Yep.
Being able to come from a place where you go home to some comfort and some stability, it's a huge thing, man. It's a great asset and a great, advantage for a lot of kids that,
Yeah, no doubt. One of my favorite things, I made the playoffs a couple times, and it's funny because you have players that make millions and millions of dollars.
Right.
But you get a little extra for the playoffs, even though sometimes it's not the amount as your game check is going to be like regular season. If you're making, these quarterbacks are making $50 million a year, their weekly paycheck is it's crazy what they're making by a week. But in the playoffs, it's just kind of extra money. It's found money that you get. And that was always one of my favorite things to do. Like, it's just, hey, I can go shop and get a gift, buy something, like something you didn't plan for. Like, hey, I'm going to go buy something special. Unless you're Sam Darnold, who plays in San Francisco and actually ended up losing money. Listen to this math.
It's crazy.
For winning the Super Bowl, the winning team, each player gets $178,000. In other words, the Super Bowl isn't a part of their salary. And because the game was played in California, and California has a jock tax, and they look at duty days. So each team spends 7 days in the state of California. So those are 7 duty days, and they pierce your regular salary at 3.5%. So he has to pay, when you take into account he got the $178,000 plus his overall salary, he has to pay the state of California for spending 7 days there $249,000.
That's just so stupid.
Yeah, but it ends up costing him $71,000 to go play in California. Now, if I'm the NFLPA, now you got to remember, it's probably even more than that because since he's in Seattle, he's playing against San Francisco 49ers. So that's another day he's there. And he's playing against the LA Rams. That's another day he's there. So he's probably had like 9 or 10 duty days, or maybe even more than that in the state of California. So if I'm the NFLPA, I'm like, hey, we're not playing any more Super Bowls in California. We're just not doing it.
I love it. Boomer taking the strong stance. It does show you, man. They're not the only state that has a jock tax, but it is glaring when you see them taking that much money and you lose money.
Yeah.
You have to cut a check to cover the taxes, the duty days. I remember it was a pain in the neck when I was in the NFL because you had to, each state that you played in, you had to pay a state tax to there. So I had to do this. I remember I had an accountant, and it was always expensive for the accountant because he had to do extra work. Like now I just live in Florida. It's great. No state income tax. It's perfect. Nice, clean. But when you have to travel and you play in California multiple times, when you play in New Jersey for the Giants, when you play in anywhere else that has state income tax, you have to cover each unique aspect, and the jock tax is something additional. That is, I don't think it'll ever happen. I mean, next year the Super Bowl's in Los Angeles.
Exactly.
I love Boomer's thought process. I think the NFL would never do that. They would never hold California's feet to the fire. But I wish they would. I wish somebody would.
Well, I mean, you think about how much money having them there for a week essentially brings into a city, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure the threat of not coming back got to be something. But yeah, they do make an astounding amount of money, and they're sort of limited as to where they can go being that they're trying to take weather out of the equation, and it's got to be on a neutral field. So yeah, you're a little bit hampered. But I mean, what the heck?
Yeah.
Who's running the PA right now? Is it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
DeMaurice.
Is it still
Smith?
DeMaurice Smith?
I think so. I think so. I think it's still him. It's always been one of the weaker ones. I just don't think they'll stand up and do anything about it.
Yeah.
One of the favorite things, I've noticed this across sports, has been players' willingness to talk about their faith.
Yeah.
I really think it's been on way more display. I don't know if it was Charlie Kirk. Like, that's kind of had a reawakening of our entire country.
Sure.
Where people are more comfortable talking about it. And look, it's not the first time. Tim Tebow famously was, took a knee in the end zone.
Right.
I mean, shoot, as a player, I would point it to God every time after I threw a touchdown pass. I wanted to just, hey, recognize where my talents came from. But I do feel like players are more bold than they've ever been before. Let me hear from Drake May, who was actually talking about a shirt that he was wearing during the Super Bowl. You can see it. Be a blessing. Yep. Drake May has been very open about his faith. Here he is talking about the sweatshirt that he said a lot of the team is wearing.
What does it mean?
Yeah, the sweatshirt is something that in chapel, Mitch, our chaplain, has been saying, really all year long, and it's be a blessing. Just trying to shine light on others, spread the word, spread the good news, and it's kind of been a saying we've had all year long. So, Nike was kind enough to make some sweatshirts for the guys. We got, probably about 30 or 40 guys wearing the sweatshirt around. It's a cool thing.
I think it's cool from a faith perspective. I think it's awesome, but I also think it's really valuable from a team perspective. Like, if you think about. And Mike Vrabel had talked about where he wanted, and he talked about it during the Super Bowl, about he wanted everybody to respect one another. Like, you had to earn the respect, and there were no stars, and that you have to treat each other the same way. Even as a teammate, if you have that mindset of be a blessing, think about what that means in a locker room. And he said 40 guys are wearing that shirt. And even if you're not a Christian or you don't, whatever it is, but if you think about be a blessing to everybody that you come across, think about what that does for the guy that's having a bad practice, or the guy that has a bad game, or, the player that's dealing with injuries, and just the little opportunities that you have throughout the day to be a blessing, whether it's at practice, whether it's taking a guy to dinner, whatever it is. I think that is so valuable. And again, doesn't mean you have to be Christian to have a successful team, but I think there's a ton of value in that mindset within that New England locker room.
Yeah, that mindset and that message is one that supersedes faith, right? As much, and I've talked about this before on here, where obviously my belief has been stronger, but there's, I've been doing it not for, I told you I was trying to find my way back to God. I was trying to do the right thing, but not because of God, just because I knew it was the right thing. Actually, just sidebar, I've been able to talk to Vinny about this a lot lately, and he's provided some great perspective. So shout out to Vinny. I appreciate that, brother. But yeah, that's what I think it is, man. I think it's just knowing you're doing the right thing. You said picking a buddy up, making sure somebody who needs it knows you're there, doing the right thing. And yeah, it breeds that culture. And it's not a surprise that teams that are tight-knit like that come around one common goal tend to be doing well. And they're going super far. What I tend to notice, and where I think it may have come back, obviously I'm sure Charlie Kirk had something to do with it. He's had the ear of a whole generation, but I feel like it's been a bit longer than that. The one I think about is about 2 years ago, I started hearing Christian McCaffrey, Cooper Kupp, some of these guys talk about it a lot. And I think a lot of it can be attributed to the same thing as I think, and it's silly to correlate them, but like the NBA All-Star game. And I talk about that, where I think when the guys who are really good do it, everybody feels like they too can follow now. So when Christian McCaffrey, one of the best players in the league, can kneel before a game and speak highly of his faith and the Lord and how important it is to him, it gives the next guy that empowerment. Like, I can do it. The same as when I see these guys in the NBA All-Star game and I tell you, I think if the best ones played well, everybody else would follow. Guys, you don't realize you realize the power that you have when you're in these positions. And it's the NFL still, but it's the same deal. It's when the cool kids and the best kids are doing it one way, everyone's going to follow. So I think that's where a lot of it started.
Yeah, I do too. It's awesome to see. I love players putting it out there and not being bashful in their faith. It's something I wish I would do a better job of. Sometimes on social media, I'm a little bit, some people don't, but I'm too worried about offending somebody. But if you truly believe that if you don't believe in Jesus and you're going to go to hell, should you worry about offending people, or you should worry about saving those people from eternal damnation? That's a mindset that I think I've been too timid. I was way more bold and outspoken as a player. That, hey, I didn't care what people thought. I didn't have social media, didn't see the reactions. But that's something I'm actually working out and using inspiration from these players, is trying to be more bold and outspoken in my faith in my daily interactions on social media, and just kind of being more bold in it. Because, in work culture, you worry about the workplace, or is there going to be somebody offended who's a different faith, a Muslim, a Jew, whatever it is. But ultimately, you've got to have the confidence and the boldness to go out there and share your faith, or else how's anybody supposed to know? Like, how are you supposed to share your faith with them?
And with that boldness and confidence, there's just a way to do it right. There's a way to do it lovingly and respectfully. Like, you can tell me how much you love the Lord and how much impact he has on your life without downplaying someone else's faith and their religion and killing them for it. So I think, like anything else, it's in the message, right?
Yeah.
You do it the right way, and you say it lovingly and confidently in that sense, and don't over impress it on people, and people tend to be more receptive of it. But yeah, it sucks that you have to worry nowadays about who you're going to, people just hear it and they get pissed, right?
Right. Sucks. But you can't worry about that. You can't. Ultimately, you gotta be true to yourself. And I think that's the best witness, is being somebody who's authentic, who's real, who's not afraid and bold in their faith, but also somebody that's willing. Like, I can have a discussion with a Muslim or a Jewish person or whatever, an atheist, and have a discussion, and there has to be that mutual respect. Like, I get it. Like, you may not believe what I believe, and there can be differences, but we can still respect each other as humans.
And what I would say at the same time, a really important point is, it's the importance of saying it when it's not the cool thing to say.
Right.
Is when it really does have power. Like I look at some people who will say something when it's the go along to get along gang, right? When everybody else is saying it, it's super easy to say it.
Yep.
It's when it's not the cool thing to say, I'm with the Lord, I believe in my faith, he is my savior. When it's not the time to say it, and you have the boldness and the guts to say it, that's when it really hits home and it carries its weight.
There was another cool faith story that I saw with Clint Kubiak, who was the offensive coordinator for the Seahawks immediately after the game. Takes the job with the Las Vegas Raiders. Congrats to him. A great offensive mind, was one of the hot names of this coaching cycle. And here he is at the podium of his initial press conference playing Sin City. Think about that. And here is your head coach of the Raiders talking about his faith. We get the audio? I'm not getting it, are you?
No, I'm not hearing that.
A little fuzz. Maybe we start it over, maybe.
It's worth it.
Yeah. We'll try to get it back. By the way, Clint Kubiak, his dad was my offensive coordinator and quarterback coach for the Denver Broncos.
Nice.
And while I was there, Clint Kubiak was in high school.
Oh, yeah.
So he'd come around practice. Here you go. Let's hear from him.
I know that I'm sitting here, right here, because of Jesus Christ. And it wasn't always that way. I've had some great mentors that helped me know the Gospels better. And I just, my goal is to live out the 10 Commandments and the Beatitudes and let those values show through in my coaching. And I fall short of that a lot, but I always go back to my, back to the building blocks, which is, to me, the Bible.
Pretty cool stuff for him. I mean, that's his introductory press conference, the first impression, and he's talking about why he's there. I'm here because of Jesus. What an amazing statement and testimony that is. So he was a ball boy. He'd come around, toss the ball with us. And then we actually went and watched him a couple times at his high school football games.
Yeah.
Like Friday night.
Sure.
I'd go with Jake Plummer. We'd go watch him play. Super fired up for his success. And really cool to see him do that. The other thing I think these people are not bashful about, when they say I wouldn't be here without Jesus, I think it's the one constant that allowed them to go through the ups and the downs of life in general. And I think people turn to different things. Some people are on self, like I'm going to do it. Mentally, I'm going to be tougher than everybody else, and I'm going to use the power of me, and the power of belief in myself. Some people turn to alcohol. Like, that's how they get through the tough times. Other people look to money for their, worth or success. Man, Jesus will never fail you. Yeah. Never. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to win the Super Bowl. It doesn't mean you're going to be the head coach of the Raiders, but it means that he will never leave your side. No matter how bad it gets, no matter how good it gets, he will be there with you through the thick and the thin. And for me personally, that is the only reason I'm here today. I've been able to survive multiple, firings, getting cut in the NFL multiple times, getting fired by ESPN, losing all my money in the stock market. Like, that was a tough time. Being able to be through marriage, 20 plus years, there's ups and there's downs, raising kids. The only reason I've been able to look at it and feel like I've had somewhat success to be able to keep an even keel and be where I am today, it's because of my faith in Jesus too. And having that knowledge that no matter what things look like, and it could be off the rails and we get fired, where are we going to live? I know that God's going to take care of me and he's going to guide my path as long as I trust in him and kind of let him lead the way. And I'm willing to be obedient and follow wherever he wants me to go. It's the best path possible.
And I think what Coach Kubiak said there was awesome. And it's so important, the ability to admit to yourself, like he acknowledged, I am not perfect. I make many mistakes, but I always find my way back to that foundation, and that's God and Jesus, and that's how I, come back. And that's everybody, right? You can't hold yourself to an impossible standard because the perfect person doesn't exist and has never existed. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm never going to be perfect. I make mistakes. I try my best, and that's it. Find your way back to that, that North Star and go from there, right?
Yep, absolutely. We'll take a hard right turn here, going from faith to players singing their goodbyes. Jared McCain was an incredible basketball player at Duke. He was he a lottery pick? I believe he was a lottery pick from the 76ers.
Yeah, he went early.
How would you, I am not super deep on the NBA. How would you assess his NBA career so far?
It's been underwhelming.
Okay.
He came out of the gates real hot. I think he actually was on a trajectory where there was a shot he could be the rookie of the year. But he's been through some injuries and stuff. He's had a hard time staying on the floor. And
I had my concerns of, because I cover a ton of college basketball, and I had my concerns of him coming out of Duke because of his TikTok presence. It was funny. I was watching a Duke-Carolina game, and my daughters were like, "Oh, that's the guy on TikTok." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "Oh, yeah, he's got," and I looked, and he had like 3 million followers on TikTok. And I was like, "What does he do?" Like, "Oh, he sings and dances." And so I look it up, and he's singing and dancing. And sometimes it's in the locker room at like before a game. He'll be in his Duke uniform. He's done the same thing with the 76ers.
Yep.
He is also one that likes to paint his fingernails. It's very trendy now with some of the younger athletes. Whatever, they're doing their thing. But I have never seen what I saw here. And maybe you can help me unpack this. But here he is singing a goodbye to the 76ers after getting traded to Oklahoma City.
What's going on, guys? As you may know, I got traded. Blessed to be a part of the Thunder organization. But I do have a tribute. I do have a tribute for the Philly fans that are watching this. So here goes nothing. Back on your sofa, of course I still care. And love's never wasted when it's shared. And although it's over, I'll always be there. Only have a couple minutes going back to real life. I'll always love you, Philly.
Okay, now is he trolling him? Is he joking, or is this like a serious goodbye? I cannot tell.
No, I have to think that part of that was like facetious, right? He could not be serious, but I mean, is there 3 towns that maybe play the? How does that in Philadelphia, of all places?
Well, that's why I wonder if he's trolling them, because I'm sure they didn't love his TikTok and they didn't love his dances, and they probably don't love the fingernail paint, which is fully on. Like he purposely holds his fingers up to the camera so you can see the whatever manicure he's got today.
Well, I'm going to lay it all out for you, though. We've seen this in other places. How about the mean streets of Chicago? How about their starting quarterback, who everybody had worries about going into his career? And at the end of the day, the guy, Caleb Williams, an MVP candidate next year, they're going to find a way to be okay with it, right?
Okay, but I apart from the fingernail palette, that doesn't bother me as much as the constant presence on TikTok. Like, he is constantly posting on there. And I think I was worried about him going to play with grown men. Like, it's one thing in college, it's fun. But when you go play with grown men, how are they going to feel about it? Now, I don't know how current NBA players are, but I do know this former NBA player. I know how he feels about it. And this is close to the way I feel about it, right? So here's Jason Williams, White Chocolate. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Well, let's be fair. He got a lot of work to do. Jared McCain.
Jeremy Roach was good there.
To get to where where he needs to be, right or wrong?
Yeah.
Should he delete the TikTok account? Should he delete the TikTok account?
He stopped, but did you see Filipowski? I don't think that's that big a deal.
It is a big a deal.
That shit takes 30 seconds to make, bro.
If I'm in the locker room and I come out of that motherfucking shower and I see Buddy over there doing a TikTok dance in the motherfucking locker room, that's a problem.
So when Maxie is getting...
I'm not on Maxie's team.
Maxie was on his team. Maxie was getting 40 balls in the TikTok doing the same shit with him.
That's Maxie gonna get a piece of it too then.
And then Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP.
Maybe that's why they don't want vets in the locker room, because it's a TikTok era now. I'm not so sure about that.
I think you're right. Winning
probably
everything.
TikTok.
Yeah, Bron. Yeah, he wants to for sure. He just probably can't hit it right.
Do you realize Bron is the best of the best? He can TikTok whenever he could call it 20. Y'all, let's go TikTok real quick. This boy right here can't do none of that.
But Bron wants to be a TikToker. Even
Bron can want whatever he wants. Jared McCain can't. If he wants to stay in the NBA for 10, 11 years, he better get his shit together. That's all I'm saying.
So, is there a mindset shift between Jason Williams, probably close to my age, probably close to 50.
Okay.
Today's player, because I think like Jason Williams, like you cannot have this happening in your locker room. Like somebody needs to step up. But I mean, the oldest guy in a locker room might be 27, 28 years old. No one's willing. I think it's kind of normal now, and I don't love it because I think it's soft. I think it's weak, and I think it's a distraction. Right. And I think it's like, I wish there were more guys like Jason Williams still playing in the NBA that would slap the you-know-what out of these guys and say, what are you doing? And I thought it was interesting, too, because like LeBron, I don't care. He's already proven he can do whatever he wants. He's already got MVPs and championships. Yeah. But for some of these young guys who seem like they care more about their TikTok audience and their social media audience, I would want them to get their priorities set.
Yeah, I think first of all, I think the locker room is a sacred place. Like things don't go down in the locker room like they do anywhere else. There's a special set of rules there. But pertaining to this thing in general, I think I have two rules, right? First, if you don't impede on me and what I'm doing, I'm like, whatever, do your thing. Like it's the same thing with like your sexual preference. Like I don't care too much, man. Do your thing. Don't bother me with it. And we're cool. Like if I'm in the locker room, I'm getting dressed or something and you're shooting a TikTok video in front of me, chances are you're going to get your head slapped, right? Because that's not going to work because now you're in my space and now you're making me uncomfortable. Please don't do that. And two, your performance better stay high, right? And that goes for anything. In sport, it's a numbers game, and that's all we care about is if you win, if you perform. I don't think we've seen criminals allowed to play. We've seen real suspect characters be able to continue their career because they're phenomenal on the field. I think that's pretty much what us guys care about, right? I think you could probably co-sign for that.
Yeah.
Don't impede on what you're doing. Let you do your thing, and you better hold yourself to the same standard as everybody else and help us push in the same direction. Like you said, if Jared McCain was getting 30, if he was VJ Edgecombe, who's one of the best young rookies in the league, TikToking in there, doing his thing, handling his business, I think they do probably look at it a little bit different. But again, I'm right in the middle of you and probably Jay Will and Jared McCain's age, and I'm probably more towards your side.
Right.
Like there's a place for that, man. Do it in your apartment if you need to.
Or even in the off season. Like you want to take it to another level, or your off day at the very least. Well, like do you really want to be, I know there's free time and they're humans too, and they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
But it's just such a bad look. Fans spend so much money and they support you. And sometimes you have to act like it's the biggest thing in the world. Like sometimes you have to fake it a little bit. Like I don't think NBA players could give a crap if they lose a game in the regular season, but you have to fake it. You have to at least act like you care.
Well, I also think, and it sucks to say, but I think there's something to him being like effeminate in his videos because if he was taking 3 minutes out of his off time to maybe put up like a cooking tutorial or like showing off some some of his house, I don't think any of us would give much a crap, right? It's the fact that maybe this just doesn't vibe well with what's going on in the team and makes certain people uncomfortable. And as much as it sucks. You got to worry. You're in there with a team. It's important to some of these guys. Like that's their livelihood. You guys got to hold yourself up to a certain standard.
Last topic I want to hit on the Olympics. We started the show with that. I want to get back to there because there have been some Olympians who have been asked about representing the U.S.
Sure.
They've been pretty outspoken.
Right.
They've been talked about. They've talked about the situation in Minneapolis, which thankfully has quieted down a little bit.
Yep.
They've talked about getting ice out, and even some of them have alluded to being embarrassed to represent the United States. Here's our buddy Boomer Esiason again with pretty strong words for some of these protests.
Ends up winning.
Yeah,
so
that's
I saw
right.
the end of that too. But I mean, like I was sitting there watching, the freestyle skating by, our ice skating team,
No.
figure skating team that won the gold medal.
Are they happy to represent America?
Yeah, they seem to be
Okay.
happy to represent
All right.
America. Not everybody is, but everybody's just pipe down and just do their sport and play for our country and respect the flag and respect everything that's going on.
So, what do you think?
I'm a Boomer, man. I think the guy they're talking about is a guy named Hunter Hess.
Yes.
And my feelings
He's probably
are...
the most vocal, right?
Yes.
Most critical.
Yes. And my feelings are, dude, if you don't love the country, sit it out. Like, no one's forcing you to be there, right? I think you have the freedom to go anywhere in the world, right? You don't have to be here, but you won't go nowhere. We've seen this with the NBA players a lot, and I always say that. They talk about how much better it is everywhere else, and I'm yet to see one of them pull the trigger and give up everything that they have here to go to somewhere better, right?
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen it yet. I would tell you, I talk about it a lot with flag football. Flag football is going to go be Olympic sport this year. I have kicked around the idea of doing everything in my life and committing myself solely, because I play with and against a lot of the people in the NBA, on the U.S. Olympic team. And just the thought of wearing the colors across my chest make me think like maybe I could just push one more, year and figure out a way to try to get in there. Because, and this is something that I think for me, I'd love to hear your thought on it, because you obviously played at the NFL level a lot longer than me. It impacted your life for the rest of your life. I would almost say if you gave me the choice to play a couple of games in the NFL, like I put the jersey on maybe 4 or 5 times, I put the shield across my chest. If you ask me, would I be more proud to wear an NFL jersey or an Olympic USA jersey, I may pick the Olympics. That's how much pride and love I have for this country.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to hear your thoughts. Obviously, monetarily, it changed your life. It gave you a career. It gave you a family some comfort.
No, there's
put it in a vacuum.
I think it's probably one of the most prestigious, honorable things you could do to represent our country in the Olympic Games. I mean, it only happens every 4 years.
Of course.
It's insane to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a little bit of a nuanced take on this. I don't have any problem if Hunter Hess wants to say something about that he disagrees with what's happened in Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
Where you draw the line is we say you're embarrassed to represent our country.
Mm-hmm.
Like that to me is a step too far, right?
Okay.
Because I think you have to remember that you do live in this country where you can say something that you disagree with the president, you disagree with ICE, you disagree with some of the policies, and you're not thrown in jail. Other countries, you will get thrown in jail. You won't be allowed to compete.
Right.
So I wish he would have followed it up with, hey, I don't agree with anything that's happened in Minneapolis. I hate what's happening. And you can, whatever the political take is there, but then say, you know what? I'm damn proud to represent the U.S. because I can disagree with people on the other side of the aisle. I can protest. I can speak out the way I am now. The bridge too far is when you say you're embarrassed because you feel like the country is represented in a negative way. No, the thing that makes America great is that we're all represented, both sides. And there is way more than just two views, even though it does feel that way. We're a two-party system and everybody has this side or that side. There can be conflicting of views. That's what makes our country special. So for you to say out there, well, I'm not really proud to be an American, man, get out of here with that.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is there'll probably be some sponsors that will drop him and there are others that will line up.
Yep.
It's kind of the way it works. That's the problem I had with it. Again, you disagree, fine. You want to protest, fine. But to say you're not proud to represent our country, which allows you this opportunity to compete for a gold medal and to go speak your mind and have that platform, and you say you're not proud of it, man, that message does not reign with me at all.
Yeah, it's crazy, especially to somebody like me, and I think you, who we do value the rights and freedoms that we do have in this country. And it brings us back to what we talked about in the last segment. It's so easy to get in front of a mic these days and be able to dog on the country and dog on the politics and dog on the president or whatever you're feeling. And it's the people who stand up when it's not the cool thing to do or might take some flack from it. So I thought maybe we finish off this segment with showing a little bit of love to two American athletes who did really, really show joy and love and pride in being Olympians. I want to give some love to Breezy Johnson and Tamira Mensah-Stock, who we have some videos of, one just showing so much love during the national anthem, and the other one just talking about her sheer love and joy and she can't imagine living anywhere else in the world. So then maybe we take it out with this and give them a little bit of love. So you're going to see see the athlete just in tears and just so proud of there it is.
Hand across the heart.
Tears.
Powerful.
Yeah, and now, guys, if we can just touch on Tamira Mensah-Stock, who's the other video back there, and just the joy and look at the happiness and pride she's exuding.
How does it feel to represent your country like this?
It feels amazing. I love representing the U.S. I freaking love living there. I love it, and I'm so happy I get to represent USA.
Like, who's easier to get behind?
Right?
Seriously.
It's
right?
so easy to get behind her.
Cow.
Unbelievable mindset. I absolutely love that. All right, let's do some reactions, and then we'll close it out with a little unpacking here.
This is something I wanted your reaction on. So this is Montana linebacker Solomon Tuliaipupu.
Yep.
He's in his 9th year of college football right now. All right. Now, I graduated at 21. I can't imagine what I might have done at 26.
Yep.
Right. This guy came out in the same class as Micah Parsons, who's now just finished his 5th NFL season. Danny Kanell, what are your thoughts on a 9th year returning super senior?
It's insane. I get to these points. I'm like, what are we doing? He started his career at USC. I get you have some injuries, you get a COVID year, but 9 years of college football. Trevor Lawrence was in this class as well. I mean, Jamar Chase. Like, there's guys that have been multiple time Pro Bowlers that have, they're veterans. They're almost on the back end of their NFL career, and this dude's still playing in college at Montana.
Yeah.
I think the NCAA, somebody needs to be the bad guy. Somebody needs to come out and say, you know what? We're sorry you got hurt, but it's time to move on. We're sorry you lost a year, but you've had 5, 6, 7 years to make the most of your opportunity. Like, I look at it this way. In high school, you get 4 years. Maybe 5 if you reclass and you had something happen, but you can't be older than 19.
Right.
And I don't think the age restriction works because I do appreciate guys that go play baseball, they play another sport, or they do a Mormon mission for a couple years. And so I get if there's a 25 or 26-year-old, but I think the NCAA needs to start with a window and say you have 5 years. Your clock, once it starts, it starts. So as the minute you enroll in college, you got 5 years. And I think this is probably the harsh line, and I don't know if they would do it. I'd say maybe you get 1 medical red shirt, but I would actually be okay if they said, you know what? Sorry. Like, you had 5 years, and it's bad luck. Like, there's luck in life. Sometimes things don't work out your way. It is time for you to move on. Your college experience expired, because you know who that's taken away opportunities from?
Of course.
High schoolers that would love to play at Montana or USC or wherever. He's taking up a roster spot that a high school player now will not have an opportunity to go play. And he's had 9 years.
He has literally taken the equivalent of a 5-year college career and a 4-year college career all in one scholarship, which is 100%, right? Just
he better be a doctor.
Yeah.
What are you studying at that point? Like, how many different degrees
he's on the
do you
Van Wilder
have?
program. Remember Van Wilder?
Exactly. I mean, now here's what these guys are doing too. And TJ Finley was a quarterback. I think he's on his 7th school. He had an extra year, and he's playing.
He's on his 7th school?
Yeah. He signed with Incarnate Word. He was doing a podcast, and he was like, because they were like, is this about the money? He's like, yeah, what do you want me to? And he said, he's like, what do you want me to do? Flip burgers at McDonald's? He's like, I can make money still playing football. Why wouldn't I try to do it? I think it's probably the same thing that Solomon's doing. Like, he's still going to get some money from Montana that probably beats a first year out of college job. Probably making pretty decent money playing football. But again, it's just too much. We're seeing, Miami just had one of their players get an 8th year.
That was last year at the tight end.
They have another one.
McCormick?
They have a Torre, another guy this year. So it's happening all across college football. The NCAA, and trust me, somebody needs to step. The NCAA already gets bashed enough, but they need to set up and say, you know what? You have 5 years, go. And if whatever happens, happens. And maybe, I don't know, I guess I can maybe forgive one. If there's maybe if you miss the whole season, but if you miss a half a season, I'm sorry. Like, that's a year. Sorry.
Well, that was always my thought process when I was in school. It was like, you have 5 years to play 4, and on those rare instances, we're going to put a Hail Mary waiver in there and hope to God maybe we can stretch a 6th year out. But the 6th year seniors were looked at as like grandpas. I can't imagine what an 8th or 9th year senior is. That's an 18-year-old, or I started college at 17.
Yeah.
That's a 17-year-old against a 26-year-old.
Right.
Like, that's two different games. You know what I mean?
Two different games.
Oh, my God. It's incredible. All right, guys. Sorry we ran so
All right,
long.
what do we
Let's
got for reactions? What do we got? Oh, this is good. I know exactly where we're going here.
Oh, boy.
This is one. Listen
Now
to the sound.
Frenchman, Yannick Bertrand. Through the S turn.
Oh, it's coming up.
Yannick Bertrand. Oh, the
We hit the
gate
nuts?
to the groin for Yannick Bertrand, and you could hear it. And if you're a man, you could feel it. Wow.
I love
Watch
the
this again.
broadcaster. Right over it, through the wickets.
Oh, the Frenchman. Oh,
Do you know what-
monsieur.
Do you know what?
Monsieur. I mean, this broadcaster's almost reveling a little bit too much in the pain.
I'm going to harken back to the 2 or 3 times I got hit in the twig and berries.
Yeah.
And it usually doesn't hit you that fast. Like, it usually takes me like 3 or 4 seconds to really register. Like, that must have been a doozy. Huh?
Yeah, he got the high octave register,
I
too.
guess you go.
I mean, that was a unique sound that we heard there.
You got to push through, right? Like, you waited your whole life for this. You got to push through.
I would think don't they wear a cup? Like, don't they wear any protection for that?
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, I would think you'd have to push through. But
I mean, now he's got to live the rest of his life.
I think
thinking
I think once you hit that, it probably slowed him down enough where he's like, I'm not going to win. It's going to cost me seconds. And I think he just shut it down.
You don't even finish the race, huh?
No.
Oh, man, that's tough. I bet you he's never done that in his life either. You think he's hit himself?
I don't
in the
know if it's
stones
happened.
before?
The announcer was like, "Oh, this happens."
Oh,
you know,
okay.
like I think they are right there. It wouldn't be crazy. That would be your worst nightmare, though, as a skier.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got? Some Super Bowl food?
Burger will run you $180 at the Super Bowl. They call it the LX Burger. An entire bone-in beef shank covered in a mountain of cheese, topped with fresh brioche bread, local hand-shucked oysters from Hog Island Oyster Company with all of the fixings. Silicon Valley nachos, beef brisket, pork chorizo, queso, one of my favorite bites of the day. Doritos loaded triangles filled with chive cheese, Dorito crunch, and Cool Ranch dip. Look at this beef cheddar, slow cooked for 12 hours. What more can you ask for? Rooftop vegan cheesesteak is made from plants grown on top of Levi Stadium. That's right, they have a garden no one knows about. This is Dungeness crab on top of hand-cut potato chips. The dim sum duo, shrimp hargao with chili crisp, and their char siu bao bun. The Chinatown fortune cookie espresso martini. Last but not least, the SF sticky buns, prepared, fresh, cream topped, melt in your mouth, sugary goodness.
Wow. You know, by the way, that guy is the best gig ever. He just tried a little bit of everything. You had me at the brisket nachos. I had those at Hard Rock Stadium down in Miami.
Yeah.
They were phenomenal. I bet they were really good.
I think under normal circumstances, I would have heard $180 for any kind of food and spazzed out. But I missed lunch today, so I don't know what you guys want from me. I think you could take my whole check after that and just take it all and let me eat everything that guy just tried, because that looked phenomenal.
So good.
Yeah.
We got one more? Oh, yeah, here we go.
Buster Douglas?
Yeah.
He wants to keep it going.
Oh, it's the anniversary?
Wow. Mike actually has been busted landing these. Oh, nice uppercut by Buster Douglas.
I mean,
He's knocked down.
unreal.
That was, man.
In Tokyo.
Tyson hits the canvas. He's in big trouble.
Made him human.
He's not gonna make it.
Yep.
He's never really the same after that. And neither was Buster
I was
Douglas.
just going
by
to
the
say
way.
that. Yeah.
He never really did anything either.
And you have to. I mean, you have to attribute that he just slept on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't. He couldn't have trained the same as he trained and came in with the same approach, right?
Oh, yeah.
My gosh, that is brutal.
Yeah, that was the end of Mike Tyson. All right, let's get a couple of these cards.
Go on, man. Get them.
Let's see what we get. So I'm really disappointed because I saw your guys' eyes when I bought these, and you're like, oh, what a buster.
Well, no, that's not.
Like buying this garbage.
No.
It says it had a 250 card set, including 100 base and rookies. I
Maybe
can't
you
get
pull
anything
something crazy
special.
out of it. What I want to talk about while you rip that is, this is what I tried to get today. Thank you, brother. What I tried to do today. So today was, and you may be interested in this. Today was the release of Topps 2026 Series 1 baseball. Really hard to get. I went 3 different places trying to get us a box.
Sold out?
Yes, or not even in yet. But what this cool thing about this series is, they are putting one 1952 Mickey Mantle Topps card. That's like one of the holy grails.
For real.
That's one. But the way they're doing it is, they're going to put in what's called a redemption card, and we're trying to educate you as we do this.
Yeah, I need help.
So a redemption card is, you may rip through a pack and see something, and you'll see a card that says redemption or something on the top, and it's basically like an IOU for a Danny Kanell rookie auto 1 of 1, and you'll get one of those and you send it back and blah blah blah. But because these things are so fragile and so valuable and so rare, they're throwing one redemption into their series, and one person is going to get to redeem a Topps 1952 legit, because something like 183 were sent in for grading last year, and 113 came back fraudulent.
Whoa.
So to get your hands and it's phenomenal. Man, I'm not one to usually fall for these traps.
Yeah.
But I'm going to buy a bunch of boxes.
I'm in.
And I'm a glutton for the
case.
punishment, because I know it's going to go to some pro athlete somewhere, or they're going to have it on some coincidentally on some stream somewhere. But I may just go for the gusto, man. If I could find a couple, I might just get them for us.
All right, count me in.
All right.
These are 2024, by the way. The I thought Mega Box sounded good.
No, they're good.
They
These are
do
good.
have orange parallels potentially. So,
and what
we'll
you're
see.
looking for in a box like this, the rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Obviously, J.J. McCarthy's value is down a bit. Michael Penix Jr.'s value is down a little bit. Maybe you can build it up. But you pull a nice Drake or you pull a nice Bo out of this, and you're not doing too bad.
Jaden Daniels too, right?
His value's gone down substantially
But
as well.
what if he plays good next year?
Absolutely.
It's right
You're
back up. All right, I can't even get mine open. You got to help me out here.
I'm going to go first. I'm going to give you a couple seconds.
I thought that's what I had to do.
So what you got to do is, if you don't get it that way, you get it this way.
I got it. All right, what you got? You go first.
All right, I'll go first. How are we doing this? Is this like possession is 9/10 of the law, or you paid for them to keep them?
I don't know if it's a good one. I'm taking it back.
All right, we got Gardner Minshew. We got Breece Hall, free agent, who I hope the Chiefs sign. We got Travis Kelce. Gotcha. We have an Ed Oliver insert. Oh, that's not bad. Oh, Devin Leary. I mean, that would have been nice. So this is a rookie. This is like a rookie insert, which is kind of sick. But
Devin Leary needs to have a big turnaround in his career.
Ricky Pearsall, a good little player.
Yeah.
And then here's Jonathan Brooks on one of your orange parallels as a rookie.
I got so many Jonathan Brooks cards.
Yeah, bro. His value has gone down a ton. So, all right, not the one, but it's all good. Not
Any
terrible.
of them numbered? Don't you have to check on the back to see if they're numbered? How do you know? Because I found a couple that I passed over and they were numbered.
You'll learn as you learn the collections, like which ones would be numbered. Like the orange parallels for me aren't numbered.
Yeah.
So I don't have to bother to look. But yeah, they are sometimes hard to find.
All right, so I got a James Conner.
Okay, great story. But
DeAndre Swift. Josh Downs. We're coming to something.
There we go.
Max Crosby.
Okay.
Contours, Saquon
Oh,
Barkley.
contours are sick. They're the white ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they look great. That's a great looking card. That's a great looking card.
That's worth about $150 on eBay.
That's value. That's probably a fair assessment.
Jamari Thrash. I have so many Terrion Arnolds.
Yeah.
I have some of these, dude. I got so many of the same players. I don't know if I have this one. It's got a little bit of the.
That's
unique.
cool. That's a hollow.
Yeah, it's a hollow. It's a
that's a cool
hologram.
one. Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Dude, I want to be around. Like, you know, when you watch. I'm sorry to. My fear is that I'm gonna miss my baby's first words or first steps. I feel like I'm gonna miss my boy Danny's first auto or first number.
I want a downtown.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you something.
They're in this box.
So the way certain people do this is they go big game hunting and they just buy them, which is fun because you can get them, but it sucks
I
because it
probably
takes out
should have done that because I've spent a lot of money. I probably could have bought a couple.
You're talking to a
downtowns.
guy who's probably tens of thousands into cards, and I pulled a downtown. I told you a couple weeks ago. I pulled
Genty,
the Ashton
right?
Genty. Bro, it was euphoric, man. It was like I got to here, I saw the side, and I literally, and I knew what I was getting. I've done this a million times. I went, I'm in my car, and it's a problem. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So is this Terrion Arnold probably the best one? It's a rookie card.
I think the contour Saquon's probably worth a couple bucks.
All right.
Yeah. You might, but you still have a bunch of packs in there. You might have something better in there.
Should we go one more?
That's your call, man.
One more, but because I can't even. I had a whole box that I was gonna bring in here. I couldn't even wait. So these don't even make it. Because my idea was when I initially bought them all was to, one a week, and then last time I had that whole box, it was torn open by the end of the night.
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Oh, no, they don't last. No, they definitely don't last.
Why are these so hard to open? Normally I get them open a little bit easier. All right, here we go. All right, we got to get something good here.
That's not a bad one to start.
Bryce Young.
That's not a bad one to start.
Yeah, but
I know. It's a base card.
Autry. Ooh. Oh, wait a sec.
We have something?
Wait a second. We got Kyle Pitts.
Oh, I know that next one.
Is it no good?
It's okay.
Tua.
What do you got?
I thought it was something. It's treasured tandems.
Okay,
Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase.
And it's a special number. It's not numbered with the press.
TTCCN.
Yeah, it's an insert.
That's an insert.
Yeah, it's an insert.
All right. Put that one in a case pot. Well, how much do you put in the penny sleeve versus the case? You put them all in that, or you just put them straight in boxes?
No. I would put anything.
I got a lot of Malik Neighbors and Brian
stud.
Thomas Jr. A couple good receivers.
Yeah. I would say if it's numbered or autoed, I go soft sleeve and then I go top loader, which is the hard plastic and then the soft sleeve.
But that would any of these worthy of that? No,
man. Save the sleeves, my man.
All right, I'm saving the sleeves till the next time.
All right,
I'm gonna buy a better pack next time.
I got the next one. I'm gonna find these. I'm gonna find these series ones, and golly, would it be fun if we pulled that Mickey?
We're doing it next time. Appreciate you guys. At Danny Kanell.
At Manno Steel.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like what you're seeing. Leave some comments. We always appreciate some feedback.
We are really close to 5,000 subs on YouTube, guys. Let's get there. Maybe we'll do a giveaway at 5,000. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll give them this cards.
You get a Terry on Arnold at 5,000, guys. We'll see you.
See ya.